now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. Welcome to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. You guys, we're your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give unsolicited advice to people in the news. This is also the third time we started the show, I think. We keep... Third or fourth, you guys. We did... Steph did a vocal lift one of the times.
Yeah.
One of the times I saw something in the office and it distracted me, so we had to fully stop.
My voice really just like... It was so beautiful, stunning, and smart that you were like... I can't even continue on.
Well, she was like, hello. And I was like, and then I tried
play the track because it's not even close to that. Or like,
it was like maybe not as beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking you definitely sound better than she did, but it threw me in part because right before I'd said she would mix up the hellos to do something different, and you were like, no. And then what did she do? She mixed up the hellos.
I riffed.
Women. In a nice
women's
way.
rights.
What if we did a bait and switch and like the people listening and then this just turned into like a really serious podcast?
Yeah.
Like just a random we'd like to talk about the inequality of women.
Women's
Did you know
rights.
women make 83 cents on the dollar? Like it's like all these really sad statistics and then just really sad stories, and then the episode ends after 10 minutes and we just say
we have
women.
Arms of the Angel by Sarah McLachlan playing in the background.
I told you that was I made that joke. So I have been losing weight with the assistance of some pharmaceuticals. Yeah. And when I went in and they'd asked like, oh, what's like your goal weight? And I jokingly said to them like, oh, my goal weight is that when I walk into a room, Sarah McLachlan is playing in the background in the Arms of the Angel and a number goes in front of me to donate to UNICEF. Yeah. Like that's what I want. Like
that is so funny.
But I was actually at the gym maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago wearing a tank top. Wow. And a lady asked if I needed a cracker. And I was like, I've peaked. I no longer need to lose any weight because this is perfect for me. So
Polly won a cracker. Maybe she thought you were being annoying.
Oh, for sure that. But I think she was also saying I looked really skinny.
That too.
Like, thank you so much. But how are you?
I was so good.
Yeah.
I had a very good long week. It was Bailey's birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Bailey. Does she listen?
Happy birthday, Bailey.
Does she have means to listeners, like an iPad or something with podcasts?
I don't know if she's listened before.
Oh my gosh, Bailey, if you are listening, just tell Steph and Traven, tell your dad and Steph that tell them the code word. What should it be?
Puppy.
And then they'll give you $20.
Her mom and her on her birthday were like going shopping, drove past puppies on the side of the road, stopped to just be like, oh, we'll go see a puppy for your birthday.
Was it a ruse? Was that the whole plan all along, do you think? Oh, it was a random puppy. I'm actually going at the boxing gym today. I box. At the boxing gym today, they're doing like a adoption puppies and punches or something.
Oh, that's and a weird like combo.
Well, I just feel like I don't know if I'm getting the branding right, but it is that
seems like a weird
okay, well, I need to correct the box.
Why don't we punch puppies?
No,
or you could adopt them. If you don't adopt these puppies, we will punch them. Maybe that's like a good boxing.
Like, we should have, like how I can't show this, but just look at this has been my full week. Yeah. This is hate people fighting.
So it's his For You page on Instagram.
It's my For You page on Instagram. This are people fighting in a barn. Yeah. Just knuckle fighting each other. Some sort of fashion thing, and then just a bunch of men without shirts. So really,
every time I go on our Good Bad Advice podcast one, all of the real suggestions are suggestive.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's called Rough and Rumble, the adoption event for puppies.
That's better than punching puppies.
Failed advertising ideas. All right, so we've got an idea.
Next time when you're doing it.
I don't know why you didn't just call this punching puppies. Anyway, I'd love to adopt one.
We do not condone any animal abuse. Anyway,
ever. We don't condone any kind of abuse. Yeah, ever. Unless you're serving a Luke that will just drop the jaws to the floor. Boom. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I slept for like 8.5 hours last night. I got great sleep.
I did not.
Oh, I know. Do you want to say why?
Yeah, I will say Wrigley had some some bowel issues, if you will. And I told Chase, luckily we have raised him with just enough shame that he won't poop in our house. He won't. If he goes to throw up, he'll go walk to his crate or go in a corner and throw up. Like, he really is like, don't look at me. I'm so embarrassed. He is Melissa McCarthy on the sink in Bridesmaids, being like, look away. Look away. So he was up all night.
Wrigley, so I was seeing yesterday reels of dogs saying I love you. Like, their owner would say I love you and the dogs say it back. Does Wrigley communicate like orally like that, or is it just in his eyes? Because those eyes are a sonnet, a poem, a full odyssey.
He has human eyes. Fully. He does not have dog eyes.
No.
And he will look at you until he's like,
do you understand what I'm saying? It's the eye, and it's the eyelids, it's the eyebrow,
he has like
under eye.
A brow that's prominent.
He fully has like a Eugene Levy brow. And so, you know, like, you put a pair of glasses on him like Steph did. I think we've posted it.
Yeah.
The
photos of him
with his glasses on, and he fully looks like grandpa got made into a dog.
No, truly, like, I have a reincarnated soul in my dog.
Reincarnated. You guys, one of the times we tried doing this episode is I was talking about Kendrick Lamar and how I don't know any of the words really that he raps, but I sing along every time at the gym. So like Ace is up there and he's like punching, because it's at a boxing gym and you're kind of like going hard and it's dark and I don't know the words. And so if at any point they turned off this music, I'd be like, love goes on, like, I don't, it's not great. And so then for it to have perfectly being reincarnated was like the perfect thread.
Callback for
the
just
perfect
the two
callback.
of us.
I don't think we have it on recording, but that'd be a really funny social cut to be like, we can't put him on the show, blah, blah, and then reincarnated. Okay, sorry. You have a reincarnated dog.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, Bailey
Wait, what
got
are
a puppy.
words that you can't say now without singing them? Like reincarnated, like that organically. Reincarnated, like that's how you have to say reincarnated.
I don't know if I have
like
words
the bend
specifically.
and snap, like bend and snap. If anyone says bend, like, oh, bend over, I'm like, bend and snap. Like, I have that.
No, anytime somebody says I'm happy for you, I can only hear Demi Lovato.
I'm happy for you.
Know that I am. Okay, we can't see anymore because we'll get taken down.
Oh yeah, sorry.
We'll get muted. Anyway, Bailey's birthday.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go back to Bailey's birthday, but that's a really fun. We need to think about words that in everyday use that have been fully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it. We need to do that the whole episode. If a word happens.
Okay. Bailey for her 12th birthday. So my parents do this amazing thing where when their grandchildren turn 12, they take them on a trip. I think your parents do it too, but they do 10.
We did double digits growing up, and then I do 12.
Yeah.
But my parents don't do that with the grandkids.
Yeah, so my parents do 12. Oh, I thought they did trips with their grandkids.
My mom does cousin trips.
Oh, yes.
But
That's
like
what I'm thinking of.
Group cousin trips, kind of like cousin camp.
Yes.
She'll do that. She does that like every summer.
Yeah. So my parents take their grandkids on a trip when they turn 12. They get to choose the trip. Bailey has chosen California. We're going to do Disneyland, Universal.
Oh, when do you go?
End of May. So like it's her first week out of school. So should be very, very fun. So most of her gift is like going towards that. We're like, hey, here's welcome to getting cash for your birthdays.
Totally.
So you can spend money on
like
the trip.
that now.
Note, I think 9 times out of 10 she would prefer an Amazon gift card.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, I can pick out things that she likes and she will use them. But 9 times out of 10, if somebody gets her an Amazon gift card, she's thrilled. Because then she can pick out her own things. Like, that's what you want as a kid to, like, be what is so grown up to a kid now is, like, sitting on Amazon and picking out the things that you want. Yeah. Like, she loves to make an Amazon list.
Charlotte likes to do that as well. Same with OJ, I guess. Yeah. Okay, speaking of OJ. BYU, did you watch the game last night? March Madness. held strong. I actually am getting into March Madness. BYU's headed to the Sweet 16. I'm pumped. Are you not a BYU fan? You didn't go, but I mean, do you like hate BYU?
No.
You're just like not a fan generally? We've never actually talked about college affiliations.
Okay, so I just like don't care. I know that's like a crazy criminal thing to say in Utah. I really could care less.
About like the college rivalries?
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, for context, hey Kev, context will be one that will only think of Kevin now.
Yeah.
If I'll be in court, I'll be like, for context, Your Honor, Kev, she was dead. You know, like, no, I'm saying in court.
Oh.
Okay.
In Utah,
there are basically two giant schools that have a rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other schools. I don't want to take away from Utah State and UVU and whatever. Southern Utah Technical, whatever Dixie became. But the two main rivalries are the University of Utah and BYU, red versus blue. Like, it couldn't be more like archaic. And I went to BYU undergrad and then the U for law school. So I bleed purple, gay. But I actually only root for, not only, but I'm 95% BYU rooting sports wise, just because when you're in law school, when you're in a graduate program, I don't think that you're as engrossed with the school. Although my brother-in-law went to Michigan State for law school and he's like a huge Michigan State fan, and he went to the U for undergrad, and I don't think he's a huge BYU or a huge U fan. So I know it's different for everyone, but anyway, BYU barely hanging on, but then did you kind of see I thought it was a little classless with
I have seen nothing, so explain.
So they're playing their 6th seed. They're playing Wisconsin, who is 3 seed, and so listen to me like doing sports.
Sarah, we have sports podcast.
Hi, sorry,
Barstool,
bait and switch. Barstool, give me a call.
Listen,
Barstool, listen to me explain college sports. So the one team, BYU, no, so they're 6, Wisconsin's 3rd, and BYU is up 2 points.
Yeah.
Like 5 seconds left in the game. Wisconsin makes a run. They miss their basket. BYU gets the rebound. So realistically, it's just a few seconds.
Yeah.
They should have just held on to the ball, whatever, or maybe whatever. So, but they pass it to half court. The guy starts dribbling down. The buzzer goes, so the game is over. And the BYU player alley-oops himself. And so he like throws the ball against the backboard. It comes up and he does like a major slam dunk. And so he's getting some negative. Obviously, there's like Wisconsin people thought it was really classless. The Wisconsin fans, some people are in the sports community just think that it was a little like over, like it was a little braggadocious, like it wasn't necessary.
Listen, they only won by 2 points.
They won by 2 points.
Okay, they won by 2 points, you guys. Like, it's not like they blew them out and then
they're like
slam dunk.
And this is the first time that BYU's been to the Sweet 16 since 2011.
Yeah.
And if I'm keep in mind, these are 22, 23-year-old, maybe 20-year-old college athletes.
So basically 12-year-old boys.
Fully, they've been raised in a locker room. Like I was just going to say a horrible joke. I'm so glad I caught myself.
We caught it.
Just like, so I think if I'm there at the NCAA and we just won and I'm like celebrating, I could get wrapped up in the moment too. But I was watching because OJ loves me some sports, and I know he picked Duke and then North Carolina for the women's. Yeah. I should think Charlotte picked Duke for both, and I picked BYU because I was like, I'll manifest. I'm okay to be crazy.
The thing, I do love when a Utah team excels.
Agreed. And I actually,
any Utah
I
team.
agree with that too. I'm totally down. If the U were to be like having a really strong season, I'd be championing the U because I'm a proud Utah.
Yes.
Like I'm a Utah.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
And then
mostly.
I'm like my subcategory
like
is
when the
BYU.
Jazz is doing well, I'm like, I'm thrilled.
Same.
When the
Utah hockey team is doing Utah Hockey Club, I am all about that life.
Yeah, I just want Utah teams to do well.
That the Bees, their new stadium is right by our house. Like the Bees.
Where is it going?
Okay, so if you're gonna go to Mountain View Corridor from Daybreak, it's right in that stretch. It's like literally from Daybreak Street.
What I don't understand is like, how are we getting people out there?
There's a major track station right there. They've put a whole front runner in. But
people aren't using tracks.
Oh, they don't have to. The Mountain View Corridor connects like it's. I think it's going to end up becoming like a 215, a Bangerter, Mountain View Corridor. Like we're having those.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pumped because I think in 2028 we're eligible. That Major League Baseball is eligible, looking for the addition of 2 teams.
Yeah.
And so it's rumored that we're building a Major League Baseball stadium.
I thought they were doing that in Provo though. I thought the one
it was going to be.
Yeah.
But they've now have it in Daybreak. They got the bid.
Okay.
So they're doing a whole Daybreak. Downtown Daybreak, like new town center. So they have the normal one, and then they have like the one off 114th District, but they're gonna have a true Daybreak one with like a performing arts center, and I'm like pretty pumped. We'll be able to go to the place just on our scooters, electric scooters.
Yeah, I am, because we're in Bluffdale, where the prison previously was. Yeah, they're like breaking out plans for that, and I'm just like, it's gonna be so hard to exit the freeway.
Oh yeah, because the Bluffdale exit, they've got 146. They have got to figure out that. Yeah. Just like they had to figure out 2100 North in Lehigh by our house, our old house.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough probably for a minute.
Yeah, I just realized. Also, sorry guys, I realized I was talking like this because I was trying to look at you, but that means I wasn't in the mic. So apologies if the mics were bad until now. Nah. That was just me checking the level. You got some 3GBs? Or I got some 3GBs.
Yeah, I have some 3GBs. I'll go through mine because mine are shorter and sweeter.
Yes, and then I put a bunch.
Yeah. First, I didn't realize I had never read the full thing. I read BossyPants by Tina Fey. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, you guys, she is so funny. Like, I know that this should come as no surprise to anybody listening, like, because you appreciate women in comedy, obviously.
Women and men.
Yeah. But like me specifically, like you understand women in comedy. And so it should be no shock to anybody that this book was good. It was made in,
I want to say it's like
2011, I think.
Oh, is it?
Oh, maybe even earlier. I think it probably was published in like 2011. Excuse me. So like there's even a point where she jokes about like, we got to let gay people get married. And I was like, whoa. That is like something jarring. But I just thought it was so funny. There's so many parts that just made me laugh out loud. And it made me do a rewatch of 30 Rock. So I'm doing a rewatch of 30 Rock right now.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And again,
2013.
Was made. Oh, wow. Like. Okay. So again, 30 Rock was made, in 2011, 2013, you could make a lot more like crazy jokes.
Totally.
And they do. And that's kind of jarring at some points, but also like contextually still hilarious.
Yeah. Now, have you read Amy Poehler's Yes, Please?
Oh, yeah. Her book is exceptional.
Because I was going to say the two of them are like, to me, the OG, and then all of Mindy Kaling's books. Like those are so the funny. SNL women comedy. I don't know if Anna Glasshire, I don't know if Anna Glasser, like from SNL. You would know her face.
Okay.
Like Rachel Dratch.
Yes,
that era. I wonder if all of them have memoirs, because I would be really interested into reading all of them. Actually, I should look at.
Okay, so I read that. It was so funny, and then I read a book called Little Thieves by Margaret Owens. I think that's who it's by. Very cool cover, and that's originally what sold me. And I like pretty much stumbled across this book. I have met no one else who has read it. It is so good. It was like a YA fantasy where her godmothers are like fortune and death, and she's a thief, and like, it was so good. It was just like so refreshing to have just like a well-written fantasy that I wasn't like, oh, this feels like everything else. It was like the good tropes that I want it to have without being like, I don't know, like cheesy in its delivery. Oh, I just like loved it. So if you're looking for a new YA fantasy, highly recommend. I think it might even be a 5-star read for me.
Whoa, you haven't had a 5-star read in a long time.
Yeah.
Do you think I would like it?
I actually do think you would.
Okay.
But it's not like, I'm so bad at recommending books because I'm always just like, but if you hate it, like, it's fine.
Please don't think bad about me.
No, it's not even bad about me.
No. I don't want you to think bad about me.
Yes,
I hate it.
Exactly.
I don't want you to
like,
judge me for
not liking it. I feel like people
it.
feel the pressure of, like, if I start reading a book that you told me to and I don't like it, but I'm like, I won't think differently of you, and you don't have to think differently of me, unless it's absolutely a book that you were like, no, Stephanie, this is trash. I don't know what delusional state that you were reading this in. I feel that way about some books. Like, somebody recommended me Demon Copperhead, and I started 30% in, and I was like,
this is out.
Nobel Prize who? Like, this sucks. Right. I thought it was awful. But that's, like, she's a very talented writer, renowned, whatever. I hated the book.
Mushrooms aren't for everyone.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We're not saying that there can't be great. I know there's a whole variety of them, but I'm not a mushroom guy, and that doesn't make me bad, and it doesn't make mushrooms good, although they're disgusting. The things that would make me go, okay, you might not like it, is because it's not like the high intensity of, like, Fourth Wing or ACOTAR. Yeah.
But
those are the only books that I've read that are that kind of high intensity. I mean, arguably murder mystery, like, I'm back into Baldacci novel. I took a break kind of from I was trying to get finished through Onyx Storm. It very much is like the Alma chapters of the Book of Mormon. Like, it really is an arduous read for where I'm at. I love the characters so much, so I'm happy to be on this journey with them, but for people that were like, it was a page turner, I was just like,
I can't relate.
I have a hard time. And I even, true story, because I listened to it on Audible, I changed my Audible book to a book on finance because I was just like, I found that was going to be a little bit more interesting than what I was reading. And that's a hand to God story.
I think you will like it because there is something happening, like, in every chapter. It's not like there's filler chapters. It's not like there's... And the characters were so lovable. Like, I really liked the main character. I thought she was funny and quick. I liked the side character. I liked the love interest. And all of their characters grew really well. Okay, they had a good arc.
Yeah, I like character-driven anything. Yeah. Like, character-driven stories, movies, film, TV. Like, that to me... I'm character driven more than I am plot driven.
Okay, I think that you'd love it then.
Okay, cool.
Also, this is like a sidebar to a book conversation. I know you have a ton, so I'll like barely
No. I was just checking to see Little Thieves to make sure. I'm going to put it on. Is it on? Did you Audible it or did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Audible. Actually, I think I got it on Libby, but it was like a very quick.
But I have so many credits to Audible because it took me so long.
I liked the narrator too. Okay. I oftentimes there are narrators that I'm like, I can't make it through this book. And
I like narrators when they have a guy and a girl. So it's not reader's theater because I really don't like the dramatization where it's like, and then she cried from the window. Like, like that's a little too theatrical for me. But a lot of David Baldacci and James Patterson have like
I don't think this one does, but I didn't find it like bothering me.
Whatever it was.
Especially because it's not like a man trying to do a woman's voice.
Sure.
It was like a woman doing a man's voice, and I find that women can do a man voice better than a man can doing do a girl voice.
Oh, James.
But
wait, let me hear you do a man's voice. So be narrating like,
"Oh, I'm a dumb man.
Oh, I hate everything, and I'm insatiable." Okay, but you can play at this game.
No,
wait, but do your man voice. Like if you were doing your normal narration voice.
I've never done like No, I can't get into a man register.
I know, but just do your man voice. Like
no, like when I want to do a man voice, I can't help but be like, "Oh, I'm just a dumb man. I like just am stupid, and I have an Adam's apple."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine paying $13.95 for an Audible book? And it's like read by Stephanie Page, and it's like. On a bright winter morning, John woke up and yelled out his window, "Oh, you guys! I said shovel the walks!" Jasmine came in.
That's just what men sound like to me.
I mean, you're not wrong, but it's just so funny.
Okay, but the point that I was going to make. I read a book a few months ago, Blood Over Bright Haven, and I talked about it on the podcast, I believe. I was like, I feel like the messaging was heavy-handed. I recently saw a video where the guy was like, just because something is heavy-handed doesn't mean the book is bad or the content is bad. There's a lot of things that are heavy-handed, and we still very much appreciate it. So using it as a measurement of if you liked the book or not is like a bad metric system.
Yeah.
And so, like,
actually, I saw that thing on social media about heavy-handed. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting perspective.
I feel like I say this in books where I'm like, oh, I feel like the messaging is heavy-handed, like, and I'm taking that back. I'm going to try and stop judging books like that, because I think if it's heavy-handed, there's a reason, and I can judge it more on the characterization and the world building. Oh, the world building was good in this one too. Anyway, and that's the moral of my story. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. If things are heavy-handed,
you're welcome.
You probably.
I'm trying to just be like a dumb guy voice. I'll do a dumb guy voice for my. I can't even fake it. Wait, you have to do Beverly Hills.
Oh, Beverly Hills is meh for me. It's like a bad.
It's way worse than meh. Bad. It's bad. I'm gonna say it's bad.
No, because I love Bose. She's carrying the season for me, and she's not even coming back.
Oh, I know, but I don't love Bose. I'll be honest. Because I really don't like Dorit. And Bose is really up, like 80% up Dorit's rectum.
So I actually don't, I think it's Uno reverse. I think Dorit is up Bo's rectum.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to know like where one begins and the other ends. And I don't like that alignment.
Sutton was apologizing.
Yeah.
Bose was like, Dorit, she's literally apologizing right now.
See,
Listen
I'll
to
be
her
honest,
apologize.
I'm like 3 weeks behind because I just am.
Okay.
It's a really hard.
Okay, here's why it's not bad for me. I skipped like 4 episodes.
Oh, I
and
was
just
gonna
went
say,
to the 2 most recent.
Okay, because I was like,
Sutton and Dorit are fighting
again,
and Sutton apologizes, and Dorit is like, blah, 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 and Bose is like, Dorit, she's literally apologizing to you. This is what you've been saying that she wants. So either you want her apology or you don't want her apology, but like you can't have both.
Right. Okay.
So that's where I do really like Bose. Otherwise, these women are getting very stale and boring for me. And I'm actually agreeing too. The person who's being like the most stable to me is Erica.
Which is
a crazy thing. But Erica said something in the last episode that I do actually agree with. They keep asking Kyle about her relationship stuff, but she's like, we don't know anything about Garcelle's relationships. We don't.
Yeah. Well, like she says at one point, I think she peaked in the 90s. I just see like the clips on social media.
So anyway, I feel like they could. Boring.
Now, I saw if you could bring back either Teddy Mellencamp, LVP, Eileen Davidson, Lisa Rinna, Carlton, Yolanda, which of the former Brandi Glanville?
I did love Yolanda.
Who would you bring back? Yolanda would be the most interesting because of Gigi Hadid, Bella Hadid, all of that drama, because those are Yolanda's children.
Yeah, Yolanda was toxic though.
And Yolanda was married to David Foster, who's now married to Catherine McPhee. Like she'd be the most interesting, or Denise Richards. Like, have you watched Denise's new show?
No,
I'll put it on my to-do list for.
I don't even like her.
I'll put it on I'll do that for the pod this week.
Honestly, I don't know what can save Beverly Hills.
I think it's a sinking ship. I really do. I think they gotta.
See, but this is where, again, we talked about, like, I need them to sweep and open new cities. And now, revisit Beverly Hills in a few years.
Lisa Vanderpump's Vanderpump Villa is coming back for season 2.
I didn't watch season 1.
I did. I told you I really liked it. And Stassi is back as like.
Love Stassi in Italy.
Stassi and Beau in Italy.
Stassi in Italy.
I will watch solely for Stassi. I don't care that she had a problematic past. I love her.
Yeah.
Okay, I have quite a few, so I got to crank through them. Netflix. 3 things that I watched Netflix that I absolutely would recommend you watch. Well, actually, there's more, but there's 4. So The Residence, Shonda Rhimes is new. She's an EP, so she's not directed it. She didn't create it. It's based off of a book. Have you seen that being advertised? How do you say her name? Ube? Uzu Aduba.
Oh, okay.
From Orange is the New Black is the lead.
Okay.
She plays like a very eccentric detective because one of the stewards, like the head steward in the White House, is murdered during a state dinner. It's very funny. So it's meant to be very like satirical in a way.
Okay.
The acting is phenomenal. I mean, just so we've got, just so many people that you'd recognize.
Star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really like it. It's super easy watching. It's really, really, it's a different take on Shondaland for like where that production company would go. And I think it's a welcome kind of departure. Cool. Then I watched The Electric State on Netflix.
Oh, I heard this is trash. Did you love it? Oh my gosh. You loved it?
Okay, here's what I will say. I loved it. And here's why. One, Chris Pratt.
How focused were you?
Watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't like I was even on my phone because so the concept being the robots, it's kind of like Terminator, except the concept, well, I'm telling people that may not understand the concept, where it'd be like robots, like, but in their because it takes place like in the 90s. So it's like robots in like the infancy, not Terminator style robot, but like, I'm Tom and I like to do the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They all basically through these like diplomatic accords are banished a la like reservation style.
Okay.
And Millie Bobby Brown is trying to find her brother. It's that plot. I don't want to give away too much. I would give away the whole movie. So what I will say I loved about it, first off, incredibly star-studded.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking Stanley Tucci's in it, Chris Pratt, Millie Bobby Brown. Like, you would just really recognize so many of these people. Jenny Slate voices one of the robots. It's whatever. But also the creativity for how to do the robots. And I'm going to find out who directed it because I remember Steven and I looked up. We both really liked it.
Russo brothers.
Yes. And they did like Captain America. So like the big fight sequences were phenomenal. Like the visuals, incredible.
Yeah.
So I really, really liked it.
Okay.
You could easily watch that with your kids.
Okay, juxtaposition, because I have heard that it is awful, but
probably
heard
for
it
people,
here first.
Oh, I was just going to say a horrible joke. Okay, don't say that. Running Point. Kate Hudson. Mindy Kaling is one of the producers and I think creators. Okay. Kate Hudson plays, it's like Kate Hudson, the really hot guy from Leftovers Justin Theroux, who used to date Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, Justin Theroux is hot.
Gray sweatpants. We all know the picture.
I don't know the picture.
I'll
what do you mean?
Send it to you.
Okay, send it to me later.
You got famous in my world for that.
Okay, got it.
But and then Colin, remember we were talking about this on the last episode. Colin Hanks is in Running Point, and it was like the advice he got. We were talking. Maybe that was on the Toast. I forget our podcast or someone else's. Anyway, genius writing. I mean, it's a little slow. It probably went on a little long.
Yeah.
But you do remember Kate Hudson is in a lot of ways that girl. Like she knows how to do.
She has the Goldie Hawn energy.
She does. It's just it's enigmatic. To be honest. Like
no, I need another rom-com with her.
So she's great in that. So that's called Running Point. And then I did watch Adolescence.
I have heard incredible
when
things.
I tell you the story is, so I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah.
In that we know from the jump.
It starts out from the jump.
You start from the jump that you know. Did you watch it?
No.
You know from the jump that
I've consumed a lot of content around it.
13-year-old boy killed a girl.
Yeah.
A classmate. It's not a mystery. Whether or not his brain understood what he was doing because of his adolescent brain and the bullying and all these other factors. So whether or not he could be legally guilty for creating this.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is, to me, subplot.
Yes.
Main plot. What our kids are dealing with in middle school.
Yep.
Like I'm sure it's exaggerated in some ways, and I'm sure it's dead on in other ways. Harrowing.
Yeah.
I think there will be lots of awards. I think it will be limited series awards.
The kid in it is incredible.
The kid is phenomenal.
They did it all in one take.
Oh, the interrogation
filming
scenes.
The filming. No, all of the filming. All of the filming is done in single takes.
Oh yes, I didn't.
The scenes are done in single takes.
And the kid's brilliant. Yeah. As like a young actor. I will say I wouldn't recommend watching it with kids.
No,
I wouldn't. I would recommend watching it with your spouse
and then
being
reflecting.
like, this is the world in which we are sending kids into.
One thing I will say, in regards, I watched a video from the director on a radio show where he just like, he talked about seeing a story, which is what it was, the show was based on. And he just said, like, we used to say, like, it takes a village. And this show is, like, looking at it and saying, like, how is the village actually contributing to how these young boys are turning out? And it's not just about you as a parent. It's what they are consuming. What is their school life like? What is the community like? What is the government doing about it? What are parents doing about it? What are your neighbors doing about it? Like, it is a well-rounded look at, like, how are we raising these kids as a village?
Yeah, and I would add to that and say, like, it's a call to strengthen the village.
Yeah.
Like, Adolescence is I'm only a couple episodes in. I will say it's heavy enough that I could only watch like an episode time. It's not a binger. But it is, I would say, like, I definitely left feeling like, okay, when I'm sending Charlotte and now Oliver next year into middle school, Charlotte into high school, I have to have like way more eyes open to the bullying, the groupthink, the sort of dynamics on top of just the normal, promiscuity and drugs and alcohol and not failing, whatever.
Yeah.
It's even more layered. And I have never really been an advocate for kids having social media. No. I don't believe that they should have social media until they're 18. I think we should try to preserve their adolescence. This like only further pushes me into that camp. Yeah. So my kids will not be getting social media until they're 18. Sorry, kiddos.
Yeah.
I then went to the black bag in the movies yesterday.
Wait, that was one that I was like, oh, maybe we could go see that one for my birthday. But like, I was like, I don't know.
So smart.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, this is
it was giving Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Is it giving that in the theater? Okay.
No. One, it's not light.
Okay.
At all. It's a very dark, heavy. But for it to be a spy movie, which the concept, Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender are married. They also work at some sort of agency. I don't want to give away too much. And it's so it's the same guy that did like Aaron Brockovich. It's the same guy that did, so it's Steven Soderbergh. And he is famous for his dialogue. I struggled a little bit with the dialogue here because the accents were so thick. The British accents were really thick. But it's also one of those movies. He also did like, he did Ocean's 11, 12, whatever. And so you kind of know like how in Ocean's 11, all of a sudden there's like a bigger story in the smaller story, but the bigger story comes out at the very end and then it pieces all the smaller things together.
Yes.
This movie did that. Now I want to go back and rewatch it, knowing the story so that I could appreciate everything that happened. I did go to the movie by myself, which was just like great. I wanted to do that yesterday. And I had my Chipotle burrito that I snuck in, and I have advice for people to sneak in food. I put my burrito and my drinks and everything in my bucket when I walked in.
Yeah.
Put napkins on top of my bucket. So it just looked like I had popcorn, but just as my napkins. Then I walked right through, get my ticket, went to my spot, put all my food out. Then I went out and got popcorn. So tune in every week more
to find out how you can sneak
and how to
more food.
We can get a whole, think about all the food you can get in there. You could put a whole bucket of chicken.
I need you to get behind a Merce because I
have a Merce.
I know, but
I have a movie theater.
You could just put your burrito in a purse.
I know, but my purse was already filled with candy. Then lastly, I did kind of tee up. I am reading this book called Moving Beyond Broke.
Okay.
It is by Dasha Kennedy. She's like kind of a famous on social media for like her story and wealth. She's a Black woman.
Yeah.
I'm loving the read so far. There's not a lot of there's like a lot of practical tips. Which is basically like budget, don't live beyond your means, like some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But she's also talking about like socioeconomic factors that are societally like ingrained that marginalize different communities and how you approach it. Just having your eyes open more to like the financial world of other people helps you with your own, and so I find that very, very, very fascinating. So those are my GBs. Sorry, I have so many.
I won't need to read it because I'm not broke.
I am.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like looking up all the. It was like a suggested read, and I was like, okay, shots fired, Audible. I guess you've been listening to my bank statements. Okay, we've got a couple stories for in the news, and the first one is Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco did an album together. Mm-hmm. The album is "I Said I Love You First."
Okay, have you listened to any of it?
Yes, have you?
No.
I've listened to, so I actually kind of like some of it.
Really?
Yeah, here's what I like.
Benny Blanco is a good producer. I need to stop hating on him.
The producing of it is excellent. So listen to, let me see what ones I've heard of.
I just find them to be like a social media caricature at this point.
Yeah, here's where it's so interesting to me. She's clearly a bombshell. Like she's gorgeous. She's a multi-threat.
And he's, as my friend Megan put
producer.
It, a melting candle.
With like one of those metal scrubbers that you have for like your dishes on his head.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Stainless steel scrubber.
Okay, so I've liked Call Me When You Break Up, Younger and Hotter Than Me, Sunset Boulevard.
Are they singing on both, or is he just producing?
He's just producing.
Okay.
Yeah. Now they did press. Did you see the interview?
No.
So the advice that we have, well, what advice do you have for this story?
My advice for them is to take a break and get out of the spotlight. I'm getting too much content for them. Really? Yeah. But this is where I haven't listened to any of it because I'm annoyed by them.
Oh, okay.
I find them to be like, I think they're a caricature of themselves right now. And I'm finding it intolerable.
Well, I do disagree. I do think that they're doing their job because she hasn't done a new song for a long time.
You have to do marketing. Like, I'm wrong.
Her last her last song was Calm Down, but her last album was 2020. So it's like 5 years she's been out. Yeah, I think she just feels like she's in the zeitgeist. I understand I have a bad take. Well, no, what I'm saying is that I understand that she's in the zeitgeist because of Only Murders in the Building and then Press and then Her Weight and then doing Amelia Perez, and she was in that movie, and like she kind of I get that we're being force fed a lot of Selena right now.
That's my problem.
But her actual, I mean, you could say the same thing about Ariana Grande, and her deluxe album of coming out.
Oh, see, I just haven't seen that very, very much about that.
But we felt similarly about Cynthia and Ariana on their press tour. So I get what you're saying. Too much. But what I will say was kind of a funny bit, and this is why I thought this is why I thought we were going to go with this story. Selena and Benny are on the Today Show. Yeah. And the album is called I Said I Love You First. And so it would make sense that they would ask, who's the one that said I love you first? And who do you think said I love you first?
Benny.
Nope, Selena. Where did she say it? I'll tell you. While she was coming out of anesthesia. And that was the first time. So she says they're telling the story. She's like, yeah, she's coming out or, yeah, she had just had surgery. Yeah. And so she's coming out of anesthesia. And she said to him, I love you. And he says, I'm sorry, what did you say? She said, I love you. And he's like, okay, just go back to sleep. Okay. And so my advice is, I guess it's not necessarily advice, but I think that you don't get to count I love you if you're under the influence of anything.
Also, if you are love you, bye, that doesn't count.
Yeah, agreed.
If you give a hug, love you, bye. Oh, I didn't. That wasn't.
That's different than I love you.
That's muscle memory.
Yeah. Yes. But I do think that I think you should tell people you love them more.
I agree.
I like when I hang up from friends and they're just like, hey, love you. And I'm like,
I walk out from my coworkers. I'm like, love you. Say it back.
Yeah.
Say it back. Love you. Okay, bye.
I do think maybe that's the advice. We need to just tell people I love you more, but just understand that if I'm under the influence of anesthesia, I'm not saying I'm in love with you. Also,
no, every time I hang up the phone, love you, bye.
There was a funny thing. I was watching it with Steven. I was trying to find it actually earlier, where it was catchphrases that I love to use all the time, and just different people were sharing them. And one of them is when I invite people to something, I almost always say but just as friends. It's hey, do you want to go to the movies? Just as friends. And just such a funny bit. Yeah. That's the same thing. I love you just as friends.
Just as friends.
Okay. And we love you guys, our faithful listeners.
More than friends. For Traven listening.
And for Steven. Okay.
I don't like Steven more than a friend.
You love him more than a friend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you dirty dog. So, Cheesecake Factory has the world's largest menu. And they thought, you know what this menu needs? A few more items. And so they have revamped for the first time in several years their menu. And so we're going to go through what is being taken off the menu. Well, first off, on the count of three, say the best thing to eat at Cheesecake Factory besides cheesecake.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Avocado egg rolls.
That's what I was gonna say too. I was gonna say macaroni cheese balls or avocado egg rolls.
Yeah.
Those are king and queen.
What's your Cheesecake Factory order?
Bang bang chicken and shrimp.
Okay, I do avocado egg rolls.
Yeah.
Start.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Macaroni and cheese balls, avocado egg rolls. Those happen.
Yeah.
If we're breathing, I'm eating the black roll, and I'm getting the those two appetizers. Those are happening.
Yeah. For cheese pasta, extra ricotta on top.
Ooh. Okay.
For cheesecake, Adam's peanut butter fudge cup ripple.
Oh, I like the tuxedo wedding cake that they do where it's like cheesecake and cake layers. They don't have it all the time.
Factory soon.
We should literally just like leave
Actually,
this.
Okay, tell the story or tell them the new.
Here's what's coming off, and then I'll read you what's coming on. We need to pick one thing of the 13 items that they're taking off. We have to save one.
Okay.
And then we have to eliminate one of the ones that they're putting on.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a swap-a-roo. The everything flatbread pizza. Mm-hmm. This is what's being removed. The mushroom burger, that's fine. Seared ahi tuna salad. The white chicken chili. The spicy cashew chicken. The bistro shrimp pasta. Boy, I just had deja vu. It's so weird. Fried shrimp platter. Petite filet. Factory combinations. Loaded mashed potato omelet. Taco tortas. No,
tostadas?
No, I know a tostada I eat at Cafe
Okay,
Rio.
well.
Dorados?
Yeah.
Okay, Dorados and eggs, and then the Skinnylicious lemon herb pasta or Parmesan chicken and spicy shrimp pasta. We have to save the factory combinations because that's what Steven always gets. Yeah. He does the chicken Diane and the steak Diane and one of the other combination.
Kind of crazy to get rid of a petite filet though.
Bizarre choice.
That seems like such a home run.
Yeah. Okay, but they're adding.
Okay.
Grilled asparagus. Oh gosh,
off.
If the whole thing
Take
is oh my gosh,
is it mostly sides?
Oh, barf. Honey roasted carrots.
It's just different
charred
side
sugar
options?
snap peas.
It's just different sides. You just
Asian cucumber salad.
Taste.
Well, that one does sound good. Focus. Oh. Then ahi tuna and shrimp ceviche, chicken and jalapeno fritters, chicken shawarma. That would probably be good. Mortadella panino, double smash cheeseburger. That would probably be pretty good. Yeah. They started off this list in a very deceiving. They should have started with like a double smash cheeseburger and the Thai stir fried noodles, with shrimp, seared tuna, taki salad, the grilled branzino. That'd be good. Mm-hmm. And then Skinnylicious grilled branzino, steak frites, spicy ginger beef tenderloin, grilled steak and eggs. That's smart. Kid strawberry shortcake. Yuzu crush, yuzu and fresh lemon, yuzu drop, margarita verde.
Wait, have you had their strawberry shortcake?
No. Is it good? They have a kids one now.
It's excellent.
Wait, of everything I listed on that, what are you most excited to try?
The kids strawberry shortcake because it's a smaller portion. No,
you can get two.
The steak and frites probably. That sounds good.
Yeah, steak frites sounds good, and I really like I like a smash burger.
Oh, I love it.
So I think how they would do that.
So Cheesecake Factory for their strawberry shortcake, the biscuits that they do have like crystallized sugar on it. Then they do it with ice cream. So it's like a biscuit.
Ooh, cool.
Vanilla ice cream, but it's like crystallized sugar on the biscuit. Strawberries and whipped cream all over it.
Sugar.
Oh, it's excellent. I forgot about theirs. The last time I went to Cheesecake Factory though, I had a miserable experience. And it was the one in Provo.
That one in Provo is a wild location, though. We
were there. I asked for a Coke because I can't have Diet Coke because of aspartame. He clearly brought me a diet. I can't even drink it. It will give me a migraine. So the next time he came over, I was like, oh, hey, can I just grab a water, actually? And he's like, yeah, totally. Leaves. Never see him again until we get our food. And then, like, he's like, hey, do you guys need anything? And I was like, yeah, if I could just get a water. Don't see him again. I don't get a drink the entire time we are sitting there.
Well, is a drink necessary?
I feel like it might be, actually. I feel like
maybe it's part of the meal.
Like part of the meal.
Yeah.
Did not get a drink the whole time. The other guy at the table, Joe, he's like, do you want me to ask? Maybe it's like a man thing. I was like, no, let me be a martyr. Let it be my cross to bear. Then here's the craziest part, actually. I get part of my 4 cheese pasta to go. I also get a cheesecake to go because I'm like, I've earned this. Okay, I didn't get water this entire time. And everybody else at the table is drinking Diet Coke, so I can't even trade them a drink. I check my to-go bag before we leave because I was like, no chance he gave me the right order to go. I open up the case to my to-go, and it looks like this man grabbed my plate, flipped it over into the to-go container, closed it, shook it vigorously, and then put it in the bag.
Put it upside down.
You guys, and I was like, I peeked into it and I was like, okay, I have to get out of here. And then the next day when I went to reheat it, because we got out of the restaurant, I'm like, you will not believe the state of my to-go container. This man hates me. We have personal beef. I don't know what I did to his mother, but he hates me.
But you need to apologize for that stat.
And I took a picture the next day when I went to reheat it to send to my coworker because I was like, I told you, we're going to post it on the carousel because it was so unruly the way that he put my pasta into this container. So me and the Provo Cheesecake Factory have personal beef, or at least my waiter.
Could someone from the Provo Cheesecake Factory community reach out to us, please?
Yeah.
We'd like to talk to manager.
I have notes.
Yeah, we'd like to talk to the manager. I'm doing a Karen flip. Okay. Tracy Morgan was sick at the Knicks game.
Oh my God.
Now, this story is so funny to me because Tracy Morgan is just really like an enigma in a lot of ways. Okay. He's at the Knicks game and he did throw up
courtside
on the court.
Can you imagine?
On the actual court. Now, the Knicks won.
Anything
so
more
he's now saying that he's the good luck charm and he'll puke on the court no matter anytime they need a win.
A funny bit.
Really funny bit. But I cannot think of a more embarrassing. First off, the Knicks and the Lakers are, to me, the most front row celebrity stacked Knicks and Lakers. We're talking LA and New York City.
Totally.
And so if you're on the front row as a celebrity.
Yeah, you're getting photographed.
You're getting photographed. All eyes are on you. Like, people are watching the game 80%, 20% you, or if Steph and I were there, inverse.
Yes.
So I can't imagine a more embarrassing situation than being like, hey, everybody.
There's literally a photo of it coming out of his mouth. Now, here's what we did find out later, which is that it was food poisoning.
Which that is a violent beast. When you've got food poisoning, it does not know decorum or decency. It just it blows out of you.
However, my advice, projectile vomiting from food-borne illness does not come out of nowhere.
No.
That is
like,
a
we
stomach
know we're
pain
feeling
that is rocketing you for hours
but
before
imagine how
you
expensive
throw up.
are those seats sitting courtside at a Knicks game. I know they've got a ton of money, but that I'm sure those are several $1,000s, if not $10,000 $10,000
crazy
seats.
amount of money.
You probably like, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna sit. Like, we've all been there where we're like, I can move past this. Oh, it's okay. I'm uncomfortable, but it's the third quarter. We're Gucci, and then I do think it just like suddenly comes up.
Well, yeah, if you prolong it long enough, for sure.
So you're basically saying it could have been avoided, and please don't ruin the game.
I think it for sure could have been avoided. Like, listen to your body. You know the silent alarm of I'm about to throw up.
Right.
Like, please do not just bend over and hack wherever you are.
Agreed. Now, I'm doing a story that I didn't put on the list, but
cool.
I had remembered to check the oddities story, which I do love checking the oddities on Associated Press because there are typically very odd stories.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the era of Doge, okay, we're cutting government spending. We're trying to figure out where we trim. And I'm not making this political at all. It sounds like I am, but I'm not.
Okay.
Because it's controversial. People on either side of the aisle are having strong feelings about where do we cut government spending. Yeah. Where I think we could absolutely cut to never cut this spending is if we were the New Zealand Parliament. Because it does show, I'm just going to read the article for you because this is a wild journey it takes you on. New Zealand Parliament shows its spooky side in a tour of mysterious deaths and cat infestations. A veiled woman burst screaming from an elevator. The small crowd gathered in the basement corridor of New Zealand's Parliament drew back nervously. Their guide, wearing a trailing white gown, smiled sweetly. You're welcome to take the elevator. Oh, that's a girl voice, but spooky girl voice. You're welcome to take the elevator, she said. Nobody did. Mysterious deaths, unexplained noises, and late-night apparitions are not the usual fodder of daily tours offered at the Parliament buildings in Wellington. But after hours on Thursdays, guides donned Victorian-era garb to regale visitors with the precinct's less savory history, the most factual tales of real-world tragedy and paranormal lore that have grown established among political staffers through the decades of colorful retelling. The history of Parliament's stately Gothic library is particularly rich in woe, constructed in the late 19th century, and feared by some of Parliament's night shift security guards and cleaners. It has survived 2 fires, a flood, and being overrun by feral cats. This is your last chance to back out, Lisa Brand, her face dripping with fake blood, told the group who had arrived on a Thursday for the tour, a recent initiative and one embraced by the visitors' center staff with gusto. Walking through a cavernous parliamentary atrium, the guide let out a hair-raising scream that echoed up the open windows of lawmakers' offices. It explained why the so-called spooky tours are reserved for weeks when Parliament is not in session.
This sounds like a Parks and Rec episode.
I cannot tell you how much I would pay to go to a spooky tour of like the White House or the Capitol building. With
the Capitol building
actors,
in the dark would be truly terrifying.
Like Spooky McGee, because most of those people working there are crypt keepers generally. Yeah. Like I saw Orrin Hatch in person one time, and I was like, ooh. I feel like he was going to grant me either 3 wishes or tell me about my past. Like a past life. Probably like tarot card reading. But I just love that New Zealand does not take much too seriously, I feel like. They never really like pop up in the political landscape, except for stories like this. They're doing something right. Yeah. Where they're like, you know what we need? We have not talked about how our Parliament building was overrun by cats. Yeah. Feral cats. Let's make sure we really inform the public about that.
Let's really touch on that.
I just would like that. So if you're figuring out what to do with some of the savings, let's revamp some of our tours.
Some of our savings, let's revamp. Let's maybe do it like NBC Page style. Like
wait, I live, but they dang it, it'll take me a minute to find it again. But the pictures they have are of like fully Victorian Gothic bloodied tour guides take you around the Capitol.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah, amazing. Okay, last story, we were talking about Tina Fey earlier, so this is a great one. She was on Amy Poehler's new podcast called The Good Hang.
Did you see the clips of Rachel Dratch?
Yes, where she can't get the headphones
on. I'm so excited to listen.
She looks like she's going to strangle herself, and then she ordered food during the middle of it, so she has to leave. She just ups and leaves during the middle of the recording. It's all on Zoom, and she's got food that she can't stop laughing. She comes back, and they're like, what are you doing? She's like, I ordered food. Then she just opens the food container, just starts eating on the episode. It's going to be amazing. We don't really encourage you guys to go listen to that one until you've watched ours. Yeah. And listen to subscribe,
ours first,
comment,
and then,
share with your family,
during the
friends.
week when you're missing us, you can go listen to it.
Yes, because we're equally funny. Our paychecks are the same.
Us, equally funny to Amy Poehler. Put it in our bio.
So Tina Fey was her first guest. Yeah. And Tina Fey and Amy Poehler have been in the industry for decades together. Yeah. Like Amy Poehler says, Tina Fey is the reason I got most of my jobs because she was busy. And so they were like, well, I guess we could just take Amy. Yeah. I love a self-deprecating queen. Yeah. But she said that she was complaining that about rich people problems and their multiple streams of income. The complaint was spurred by a compliment from Polar, but you do have incredible hair, the Parks and Recreation actor told Tina Fey. I feel like you should have a hair campaign, and also, I'm like always pushing you to have a glasses line. Tina Fey then explains that she has yet to expand beyond her comedy, and when questioned, do you hate money, she says, yeah, I do kind of hate money, because she says she's, quote, terrible with money. But what she really says is that she's just sick of celebrities needing a side hustle.
Yeah.
Let's weigh in on that.
Yeah.
Because I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy
and
that
I
like
even think that
The Rock
are
has a full
relevant
skincare line, and like that just seems like a bizarre side hustle.
Uh-huh.
You are a famous actor. Just stick to acting.
Well, if you're not a good actor, you have to diversify.
Are you trying to say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is not a good actor? Have you not seen Jumanji 1 and 2?
Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
Have you not seen The Rundown?
Have you not seen Tooth Fairy? Okay.
No, okay, so like I think that she should have a hair campaign, but that's still acting. Like having
that's a different than a side hustle. Like having a job as like the face of Maybelline or being the spokesperson for Dior for Charlize Theron or something, or Chanel, whatever. Like Anna Taylor-Joy, like they have all those partnerships, brand deals.
It would make sense for her to have a glasses line because we're so familiar with that. But it's not like Tina Fey is passionate about her glasses.
Now, like, okay, I'm going to take a shot at someone who we adore.
Yes.
But this is kind of exactly, I think, what Tina Fey's talking about. Kelly Clarkson has an entire line of furniture and homewares at Wayfair. That's a bizarre...
So does Drew Barrymore.
Full opposed to like Pioneer Woman Cookbook. Pioneer Woman would make sense. That's her whole brand. This is just like a little bit.
Unless I'm totally wrong, like Drew Barrymore and Kelly Clarkson are not like known for their home decor.
No,
but like
I can't describe Drew Barrymore's home decor. What was her aesthetic?
So her.
No. I think aesthetic. Of her outside of the product. If you can't think of the aesthetic without thinking of the product line she launched,
okay, but
that's a problem.
What's crazy is I think of Drew Barrymore's aesthetic as probably being like chaotic, eclectic Nancy Meyers.
Yeah.
And that's not what her home line looks like.
Yeah, because they just are using her name as in a different revenue.
But her home stuff at Walmart is beautiful. And so is Kelly Clarkson's.
No, like that's what I'm saying.
But like,
it's not their stuff. Yeah. It's kind of like
just their name on it.
So we equally gender hate Ryan Reynolds with his like gin, aviation.
Yes.
Okay, but like, or like him doing a sports team. Like, wait, I thought you were just being an actor. Now I get.
So the sports team, I'm pro for, because that is like you have to run the business. And it wasn't about his celebrity to run the business, although they were like, let's monopolize on it. Yeah. I don't think they bought it for that purpose.
Now, I think another good example
if he's like soccer cleats, it's like, come on.
Yeah, like the Ryan Reynolds shoelaces.
Well, and it's like George Clooney was the very first person to do tequila.
Right. And then we had a ton of alcohol brands.
Yeah, now we have so many celebrity alcohol brands.
But one thing I will say, what about like Lady Gaga, House of Labs? Yay or nay? Selena Gomez. Rare Beauty, yay or nay?
Okay, so I think you have to commit to it enough.
Like Gaga.
Well, I wouldn't even say Gaga yet.
Wait,
but I have heard incredible things about her.
What about Rihanna?
This is what I'm saying. Rihanna has stopped doing music to do Fenty.
Well, she did the Super Bowl like 2 years ago.
When's the last time she released music?
No, she's not released new music, but she is Rihanna music.
Yeah.
I understand Savage Fenty,
but
and then
she
Fenty
became a billionaire
Beauty.
Because of Fenty.
Totally.
So it's kind of like
what if Taylor Swift dropped a sock line? We would be like,
and why?
Why? What if Taylor Swift dropped a makeup line? I think we would similarly be like, no, sweetie,
why?
You made your $1 billion, over $1 billion doing your music.
The only thing that Taylor Swift could drop for me that I would buy is a red lip.
I know, but that'd be so.
But she has
tacky.
a signature red lip that she uses.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and it's like
she should just have a partnership
with
with YSL or whoever's doing the makeup.
She is so. But I think Taylor Swift is doing that well. Like, she's just doing what she's good at.
That's what I'm saying. I actually think Selena Gomez shouldn't have done Rare Beauty. I don't think Lady Gaga should have done House of Labs, and I don't think Rihanna should have done Fenty.
All of their makeup is incredible, though.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think it's their makeup.
Yeah.
They're not they did not start in the world of makeup. They were not artists seeking. Maybe they were. But maybe Gaga's like the closest to, because she was always from her infancy as an artist was pushing the sort of creative boundaries. Mm-hmm. All in all, I agree with Tina Fey. I think a perfect example of where it feels totally off is like the Drew Barrymore
white labeling.
Home Goods, like white labeling, Kelly Clarkson with the Wayfair, like Trisha Earwood with like her cooking stuff. Like, I get that people are dynamic and they get to have different revenue streams, and it's not. But if it's being done just as a way to get money, like, maybe that's the difference. You know, Rihanna really does see. I take back what I say about Rihanna.
Yeah, and
I take back what I say about Gaga, because I have watched interviews where she's talking about the formulas.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think why I feel differently about those three.
Yeah, I am trying to think too.
And I think it's because, like, Rihanna specifically has been running it, and like Rihanna, Selena, and Gaga, I think now. Like, Gaga, I've heard her foundation is like one of the best foundations on the market.
Amen. And
but they've created
blush tints or whatever.
They've created innovative makeup. They've sourced them to better quality, and their shade ranges are exceptional.
For House Labs.
No, for all three of those.
Oh, okay.
They have exceptional shade ranges. Like Fenty.
And for those that don't understand what that means, it's saying for different color of skin.
Yes.
There's a lot of dialogue in the makeup community.
Yeah.
I actually, because I follow Michaela, my For You page is a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
And I like design. I like art. I like creativity. Yeah. I did photography for years. And so I get into that. A lot of it was really limited to be very like white.
Yeah,
specific.
and particularly it's the demographic of our state. But if you go to the grocery store, there is 10 to 12 variations of a light formula of foundation and there's concealer. 1 to 2 that are a darker shade for a darker complexion.
Yes.
And if you go into an Ulta and you see Fenty on there, there is not equal, but there is a
significantly more representative of the
darker
demographic.
Complexion.
Yes. And so I will say Beauty Gaga, and
so
this is actually a really interesting
to me has made it that I respect it more,
because
versus
the other
them
one that I'm
white
thinking
labeling.
of is like Victoria Beckham pop star, but now she's really Victoria Beckham the designer, and people are wearing Victoria Beckham. That was a smart move, because I think that she was always that.
It needs to be
actually. That's what I think it was. I think that's where I think it's a little different for these people.
Yeah,
their artistry was so interconnected to what they ended up moving into. Gaga with the makeup, because it was always about looks, big, different, born this way, like that vibe. Selena Gomez, maybe less, but Rihanna for sure. Yeah. The sexy, the Fenty, the lingerie. She was creating, and she probably was like, hang on, there's a huge void in the market. I'll create it because it's born out of her. Same with Victoria Beckham. But I don't feel the same way about Kelly Clarkson with the clothes. I don't feel the same way about Drew Barrymore. I don't feel the same way about like...
I think what is actually, now that we're digging deeper into it, bothering me is like passion versus white labeling.
Yeah.
Like, if Tina Fey came out with glasses, it would feel like white labeling, because I'm like, Tina Fey, I know you wear glasses and you talk about wearing glasses your entire life, but you have never been like, oh, I can never find glasses. Like, you have not been that passionate about your glasses experience. Okay, so like, be for real.
Okay, so I pulled up, this is a list of the top 20 celebrity brands, and let's say we're giving them a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Okay.
And what we want you to do, if you're listening, tell us in the comments. I'm really interested if you own any of the products these celebrity brands have.
I have Fenty makeup, and it's exceptional.
Okay, so Fenty Beauty is number 1.
Yeah.
Rihanna. Florence
Skims.
by Mills, the Billy Bobby Brown makeup line.
That one is doing well. I have not heard anything about it. Okay.
I think that's very well because she's so young. She's hitting like Gen Z or even whatever.
Younger demographics.
Gen Alpha, whatever. Flower Beauty by Drew Barrymore.
Honestly, I've used some of her products too. And they're
really
incredible.
Good. Okay. Goop. Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop. That actually is okay. JLo Beauty. No, that's a white label for sure. Kylie. Kylie Skin, Kylie Cosmetics. Yeah, I would say that was white labeling, but we give it a pass, I guess, kind of.
I feel like it was white labeling, but she's not really doing it anymore. There isn't really, it's died out. But this is where I'm like, it's white labeling or it's true passion. Yeah. Like Hailey Bieber, Rhode is like, she actually seems so passionate about it and talks about skin all the time.
And same with, I will say, Kim Kardashian with Skims.
Yeah.
Like Skims is next.
Also, then she's obviously been wearing shapewear her entire life. Her whole life.
And that was the whole thing, is what how can her body do and how she can manipulate her body to make it look different. Okay. Jessica Alba for Honest Company.
Oh, yeah.
I actually feel like that's pretty genuine. Yeah. Like, and that's a huge company.
I agree.
Ariana Grande's fragrances. I feel like fragrance is kind of like just an extension of brand, but it's almost always white labeling. I don't think anyone would say, oh, that smells like Ariana Grande.
Besides Taylor Swift's Wonderland perfume is like so recognizable to me. I still have a bottle of it.
Okay. REM Beauty by Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I just...
then Flawless by Gabrielle Union, was not familiar with. Keys Soul Care, Alicia Keys Soul Care, and then I did not realize that Fabletics is Kate Hudson.
Yeah, that's Kate Hudson.
Which is that's a very interesting.
I forgot that it was Kate Hudson that did that, because she got really into Pilates and didn't like any clothes. Like Fabletics really like started the 2-piece set.
Interesting.
And they started of course, that trend.
The biggest celebrity brand we haven't said.
Casamigos.
Nope.
Skims.
Beats by Dre.
Oh.
That Dr. Dre's Beats were the very first, and he's the blueprint. He is the blueprint for the most successful. So I own Beats, and I've never thought of it as a celebrity brand. I didn't buy it because of celebrity. I actually bought it because of quality, from what I interpreted to be quality at the time. So I think you're onto something, that I'm okay with celebrities if they have a genuine passion, and if they
like Beats by Dre started because he thought headphones
were not translating the sound of the music like he wanted to be doing. So he was like, how do we create something with a deeper bass and whatever. So I think that you're exactly right. If you are creating a product because one, in the industry, in your celebrity, you realize there was just a void and you really needed it. Fenty Beauty, House Labs, some of these companies that are like, hey, we need to address the gap. Or if it's just like, I'm so passionate about it, I love that. I feel like that's kind of like Beats, Fabletics, right? Like she was working out and that was a big deal. Honest by Jessica Alba. Yeah. I'm okay with those. But if you're just white labeling something and it's like a weird, just a money grab, get out. Get out of my
it feels insincere, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, agreed.
Like if Drew Barrymore isn't getting ready with flower makeup every single day for her talk show, then it's insincere.
You know, Michaela on TikTok, she has her POV, and it's just it's a makeup prep company. And that's a perfect example to me of like, she's been in this space for 5 years as a content creator. She's the largest makeup influencer on the platform, on all social media platforms. And so what did she do? She created what was in the gap of the market, which was a skin prep, not skin care, but skin prep, just so that when you put your makeup on, it doesn't mess up your skin. Like that's kind of genius. And I hope it's really successful. It launches this week. All right.
She has not gone over a price point for it though.
No. Or the ingredient list. I'm a little nervous to see what that's going to be.
I think the ingredient list will be quality because she's not stupid enough to
have
put crap in her stuff.
But that means it'd probably be expensive.
Everything that people have asked, like every comment that is like, what's the price range, has gone unanswered.
Yeah. And I think that's probably because they're doing a lot of market research based off of the PR that they just did the past month that they've been releasing it.
Would be shocked. Ooh, I don't know if shocked is the right word. I think it would be a miss if she priced it out too high.
Agreed, because she was kind of the people. and that was her fan basis of the people. And
she
she's not even like Rare Beauty is like a little bit more expensive. I tend to, you good girl. I'm learning more and more because I buy Charlotte her stuff, and I didn't realize first off just how expensive makeup is generally. Insane. Skin prep, everything.
Oh, but like there's so much skin prep right now of like The Ordinary, Bioma, Prequel, Naturium, that they are like these excellent brands with excellent like ingredients in their stuff, and their range is so reasonable that I just think there's no reason for her to price this at like Hailey Bieber Road. Like,
yeah, agreed.
It'd
be a big miss. Let's make sure, because it comes out this week. Let's make sure to follow up, and we'll drop a little thing.
I think it should be in a lower to mid price.
I'm gonna make a story right now. I'm gonna
also if something is over $40, I will be shocked. Actually, not shocked. I will just be like, okay.
Okay, I was in Cubby's last night with Steven. We were just grabbing a quick bite. And they had those books. Have you been to Cubby's? You know, like they always have those books there. And they was like, take one while you wait for your thing. They had a little placard. I was like, oh, okay, great. This was the book called The Tooth Fairy. And the illustrations were...
That's terrifying.
Jarring. To the point that I asked the lady who came over to bring our food, I was like, have you actually read this book? Open it. She's like, no. Her name was Heather. She was actually a goddess.
Did you know the owner wrote them? The owner of Cubby's wrote the books.
Okay, but did they illustrate? Because I'm concerned about the illustration. I'm going to use this as the backdrop for the prompt. Do you own any celebrity brand product? So just know that you guys, when you're like, why did Chase post that?
Why on earth would he use that?
We're going to say, actually, I'm going to just do this. Find out more from the episode that we just recorded, and then I'll do another one with the thing.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, my queen?
Nope, that's all.
That was a fun little exercise on the celebrity stuff. I love stuff like that. Yeah. So send us your thoughts. I'm really genuinely interested in what other people's feelings are about celebrity brands.
Agreed.
And we have a couple celebrities that follow us, like obviously Mandy. Mm-hmm. Like her, it makes so sense.
Yeah.
You know, same if Courtney is listening, she's the same. I know she listens. She sends me stuff. But like her cake products, like I get that's not what we're talking about. That is very industry specific to your brand. Michaela, if Michaela dropped a pair of sneaker line, I'd be like, what in the actual hell? That's what I'm talking about. But I am interested in what people's take is on that.
Agreed.
All right. Well, we love you guys lots. Hope you have a great week, and we will plan to see you next week.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Say I love you.
I love you.
Love
I love you. I love you.